Okay. Hello, hello. Um, as I promised, I am going to start doing some channels where I do lots of tutorials and, well, not really tutorials, but I will kind of, give some information and background on the different things that I do to live a more natural lifestyle. I started on my journey with herbs a long time ago, probably when I was in my 20s. So, probably like 20 years ago, when I was trying to heal a lot of different things that I had been experiencing from the time when I was a young girl. I was an asthmatic. Um, all of my life, as far as I can remember, probably from like age 7 on until very recently, like about 5 years ago. And I started the journey to initially heal my asthma because I was tired of being dependent on medication, steroids, and inhalers every single day of my life just to be able to breathe. And I'll do a whole video about that later on because now I know so much more about asthma and what it really is and what it isn't, and what actually helps us to get better. Because I can say now I've been asthma free for about 4 years straight, where I have not taken a medication for asthma at all and have had no problems with breathing. So I'll do a whole nother video on that. And let me know what you want to hear about specifically in the video. I'll try to give you as much information as I can, but I have tons of experiences to share about my journey with asthma, chronic asthma at that. So anyhow, started with that journey of really trying to heal my asthma. And also I had very heavy periods and cramps, from the time I started menstruating when I was 10 years old until, again, early 20s, actually mid 20s, until after I had my first child. And so I'll talk a little bit about that too, and some of the things that I experienced, and some of the things that helped me, and all of the other ailments in between, and things that I've seen with my own children and my husband, and things that have helped. And just all the things that I've learned about herbs and harnessing nature, and what God has given us on this good green earth. And so, my journey started as a way to heal these things, but I fell in love with flowers and plants and oils and seeds and barks and roots along the way, to where I would have no other um, way to live life if I didn't have these things available to me. So I had a herb shop a long time ago when my oldest was 2 years old. And by the time I got pregnant with my second 2 years later, um, I decided to close it and concentrate on all the work that I had ahead of me, raising two little ones. So I closed it up. But the herb shop, I had walls full of all the different herbs that you could think of, and I would help folks who came in with different issues, and they wanted particular herbs to work with to help them on their journey to getting better. And so I would make special herbal blends for them. And I never got back to doing that for people. I really enjoyed doing that because I had so many people come back in after they had the herbal teas and the salves that I would make and the oils. They would come back in and tell me how much they success they experienced with using herbs for different types of things that were happening in their bodies, or maybe things that they just wanted to support in their bodies, emotional processes, or whatever it was. So I never got back into that, but now is the time. Now is the time. I feel like I can't keep this to myself anymore. I feel like there's so many things that we can learn from with herbs and nature's bounty, and so many things that can help us live the best lives that we want to live without worrying about toxic chemicals or things with all these different weird ingredients that we have no idea about and really have less of an understanding about what they do to our bodies, and how detrimental they are. So what I like to do is, I don't use commercial soap very often at all. If I do use it, I may use it on my important parts, or maybe not at all. Unless I feel like I really need a good scrub and I need, some of that, um, soapiness to kind of, deal with that. If I've been out and about and kind of, working with dirt and things like that. But even then, I tend to not use commercial products. And if I do use commercial products, they're from the health food store and they have very minimal ingredients, like Castile soap or something like that, which is still very stripping. So I choose not to use it the majority of the time. So I'll show you what I do instead. Usually when it's time to bathe, I make a bath tea and it's made of herbs, okay? So I have, as you can see, some, these are not remnants of my herb shop, but this is definitely, what I use for my herbal, my home kind of apothecary, my herbal, you know, expression and, concoctions, if you will. I have lots of herbs, hundreds. This is just one bin alone. I have another bin down here. And so this bin has more herbs in it. And so this is just my personal stash. And so I'll put together, once again, I'm going to put together more herbs for my, I'm sorry, you hear my kiddos upstairs making noise, but hopefully it's not too loud. But I'll have my own, stash where folks can get blends made with all of the different herbs. Okay, sorry about that. I had to let my oldest know that I'm trying to do a video. He had just got out the shower. He's making a lot of noise. But anyway, so these are some of the herbs. And, we'll go through all, a lot of these different herbs. Actually, I'm going to need to pull this lavender out because I think I want to make a lavender tea with some other stuff in it to bathe in tonight. So I'm going to be kind of browsing through here. I need to get, calendula is always good too. I need to get my my special pantry ready for, I need to get my stuff out of these bins because herbs are way too magical and too lovely to be locked up in these bins like this, y'all. But this is what I got right now to be able to store all of my herbs. So anyway, I think tonight I'm going to, I'm not feeling like I need anything strong or any extreme cleansing type herbs. A lot of times I will go with some lymphatic type herbs to bathe in if I'm feeling inflamed and swollen and I feel like my lymphatic system needs a little bit of support. I'll bathe in some of the lymphatic herbs like cleavers or echinacea or what else do I like to bathe in? I do some parsley and nettles and things like that to kind of support the urinary system as well, but also, the lymphatic system in a mild way. Chaparral is another one, the desert sage, that really kind of works on the lymphatic system and gets it pulling. But I don't feel that tonight, although it's always good to have some of those going on. Tonight I feel like I want to do a little bit more reaching inward. I want to maybe feel a little bit of my soft energy and have some hugging herbs, some relaxing herbs, some floral herbs. The flowers, the flowering parts of the herbs tend to be those hugging and relaxing and comforting and nurturing type herbs. And so, like I said, I'm going to work with some lavender today. So this is lavender. I have, I have so many herbs, I forget what I have, and sometimes I buy more without even using the first pack because I have so many. But it's not like they never get used. So I have a couple different forms. But I'm going to work with this lavender today, or this one, because I need this one. I'm going to use it up. This is what lavender looks like. And it's, you know, when you take off the flower part. And if you could smell this, I wish I had smell vision through the camera, because it smells so good. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to put this in my concoction for my bath tea. And I think I'm going to use most of it. I'm not going to use all of it, because some herbs you will need to use a lot more than others. You might not want a whole lot in your bath tea, or even in the tea that you're drinking. And some herbs you don't want to use a lot at all, because they're really strong, and you don't want to overdo it. So lavender tends to be a little bit strong in fragrance. And it's also astringent. It has some astringent properties. Astringent means that it pulls, tightens, constricts. So, you know, it draws. So think about like an alcohol, like rubbing alcohol as an astringent, or witch hazel, right? Tightens pores, helps decrease swelling. So lavender has a little bit of astringent action to it. It pulls as well. And so that could also help with some inflammation too. Lavender oil, quick note about lavender oil. If you're into essential oils, if you can get your hands on some real good high quality lavender essential oil, it is the go-to for burns. Okay. It has helped my family with burns, and I don't use anything else when I burn myself but lavender oil. And it knocks that burn off out right away. Better than anything, you know, everybody else says to try. So it's my go-to. I always have lavender oil in my cabinet because of that. And you could also do lavender tea and just kind of, you know, keep dousing the area burn, even like a sunburn or something like that, with something lavender, because it really helps with burns. Okay. So anyhow, I'm gonna put lavender in my bath tea tonight, and so I'm gonna put that away. Now, I know I said I wasn't gonna use any lymphatic herbs, but I lied, because most people don't realize that this flower right here, which is what we call calendula or calendula, is not just a flower that is good for, you know, soothing skin inflammation and irritation and all of that kind of stuff. You know, you usually find calendula in baby creams and things like that, skin creams, but it's also a lymphatic herb. It's a gentle lymphatic herb as well, like I mentioned earlier. So this is what it looks like. And it also has a beautiful smell. It smells kind of like a soft woodsy kind of scent. I don't know how to describe it, but I love it. It will, if you use it on its own, it will make your tea like a light pale yellowish gold. But I'm going to put it in this bath tea. Now I'm going to use a lot of this calendula. Actually, I'm going to use the rest of this bag here because it's running low. The bag is almost empty, I should say. And I have another bag here that I'm going to work on. Now, I get all my herbs from, usually I order them online, but I have a nice herb shop that sells bulk herbs that I go to, and I get giant bags of herbs because I use so much of them. And so that's what I use to make my herbal teas and things like that. But anyhow, this is calendula. The flower itself is from Egypt. It's organic, right? So you don't have to worry about the sprays and things like that. The herb shops that I get my herbs from, the companies, they source them from different places around the world. Some of them are wild crafted, which means that whoever gathers the herb collects them in nature, so they're untouched in that way. And then some of them are grown purposefully for, you know, making medicines and things like that. So anyway, I'm going to throw that away because that's empty. So I have my lavender and my calendula. I'm gonna give it a stir. Look, it's pretty already, y'all. Look how pretty that is. Look how pretty. Look how pretty. Oh my gosh. And if you can smell it, it just smells so soft and so nice. And there's no, fake fragrances or anything like that. This is my other bag of lavender that I'm not gonna use. Um, this is one I'm running low on, and this one I would normally put in my bath tea. This is red clover blossom. A lot of people know red clover because it is a blood cleanser. It supports the blood in kind of, cleansing, impurities and things like that. People drink it for that reason. It grows everywhere for the most part. It doesn't really have a fragrance, and the flowers are usually bright red when they grow, but when they dry, they look like this. And so another one of mine really beautiful herbs that I like to use in my bath teas, but I'm not going to use it tonight because I only have a tiny bit, and I might reserve that for drinking in a tea. And I probably have another bag in here, but if I run across it, I might put some in there. I also have a lot of herbs in powder form. So I'll show you what I mean, because some herbs I like to use in powder form. It makes them easier to, sometimes I take the herbs internally and, as a powder, like I'll just put a teaspoon in my water in my mouth or whatever and wash it down. And sometimes I put them in the bath tea that way. I'll put it in like the powders in an old sock, which serves like a sieve, and it lets all the nice constituents out into the water, and it keeps the bulky herbs that I don't want to go down the drain in the sock. And I'll show you how I do that another day too. But let me see if I can find a powder to show you. Okay, so I have a couple. So this is what the a powder would look like. It's just ground up. So it would be exactly the flower, the root, like I just showed you, but they grind it up really fine, and you can make capsules out of it, or you can use it however you want to use it. Sometimes I make pastes or body scrubs with powder herbs. I'll show you that another day too. This one's faux tea root. This is more of like a I think people use this as like an adaptogen. I know folks use it to kind of help with gray hair, to reverse gray hair. I think folks also use it for thyroid support. So I'll do some more research on it and give you some more information another day when we talk about some of those types of herbs. So I just want to show you the powder. I also have beetroot powder, which I use in the same way. I probably need to use this one. This one's getting a little bit crystallized. But you can some of these you can throw in smoothies and things like that. Beetroot, a lot of people use it for high blood pressure. And then of course iron and liver and kidney support as well. So anyways, we'll talk about those another day, but I just want to show you what the powder looks like. Okay, so anyhow, I think I am going to add one more herb to my bath tea, and I'm not going to add too many more. Sometimes I use like several herbs, sometimes I use one, and sometimes I use a couple. I listen to my body, I listen to my intuition, and what are my emotions feeling, what is my soul needing right now, and that's kind of how I choose and decide. So that's kind of how I pick. The last herb I'm going to add is one of my favorite herbs. Now this is a cleansing herb. All herbs are cleansing, but this is really cleansing, and it smells so good when it's dry and you put it in your bath tea. Sometimes I put if I strain these through like a old sock or something like that. I have like old socks that I use just for my bath teas to strain. I put the sock I'll show you how I do it, but I put the sock in the bathtub too and let it soak after I brew the tea. And if a sage is in there, you want to smell it over and over and over again. Inhale it. Get that good get all those oils down in your body. And then I'll just kind of put the sock over my eye as I lay back and rest and just continue to inhale the aroma, because sage is one of those where you don't even think about it when you hear sage, but it smells so good. So anyway, this is a leaf, okay? This is what I'll show you what it looks like. Some of y'all know what sage is. It's just your sage that you use, when you make stuffing for Thanksgiving. That's the sage. Some of y'all buy it in the powder, and you don't really have a connection with it beyond sprinkling the powder on the dressing or the turkey. But this is what it looks like. It's fluffy, and you can crush it a little bit. With all these herbs, when you crush them, it brings out the aroma even more. And then you just smell it, and it's the most beautiful scent. Most of these herbs have some amazing aromas, and they smell so good, and I just love them. But sage, I use it in my bath teas for cleansing. I'm adding more. Look how much sage I done added, y'all. I done added a lot. And I need to get some more, because that's probably only enough for me to have one more bath. I don't drink sage as often internally. Every now and then I will put a sage tea bag in with my teas when I make like anti-microbial teas. Like, if I feel like my stomach needs some support, where it's feeling a little bit uncomfortable, or sometimes for my urinary tract system to kind of cleanse some of whatever is in there, I'll put sage with thyme, with rosemary, as kind of like a really strong cleansing. Sometimes oregano as well, as like a Mediterranean type blend, to cleanse internally and really work on some of those like no-nos that you want, that you don't want in your tummy or your urinary tract system. So anyway, this is what I'm working with tonight. So I have sage leaf. You can see the purple is the lavender flowers. And then the yellow is the calendula flowers. So, I'm making a mess. I want all of that. So look at how much tea goes in my bath. Quite a bit, okay? But sometimes what I'll do is I'll brew it once, and then I will soak it in the tub before I start bathing, and then I'll take it out, wring it out, and then I'll put it in a cup of hot water and brew it again, and just let it brew overnight, soak in that water, and then I'll use the water again to rinse with the next morning. So anyway, that's my bath tea. Now, what I'm going to do now is, I had my tea bags out, but that's not what I'm doing right now. These are small tea bags. I know these are bleach white. I got these when I was in Belize, when I wanted to make some herbal teas in Belize, and they don't really have a large selection of unbleached, tea supplies. I usually get unbleached tea bags, but I'm going to get some in. This is just my personal supply. I usually use it when I make bath teas and things like that. But actually, I'm thinking I might use them to use them up, because I don't really like to drink from, but it's going to take a lot of tea bags to put this much tea in. So I'm going to brew it and strain it through a sock and show y'all how I do that. So I'm going to put these in with my tea, with my herbs. And we will get a chance to talk about all of these herbs in here, because there is so much gold in these two bins. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. I have all kinds of other natural lifestyle tinctures and you know, oils and things like that that I use. So we'll get a chance to talk about all of that. Let me know what you're most interested in. Chances are I have experience with it and I use it regularly. And I'm not talking about like supplements or products or things like that. I'm talking about natural ingredients like shea butter and coconut oil and avocado oil and mango butters and beeswax and all of the herbs. Okay. So, anyway, I'm going to pause and I'm going to get my tea soaking in a container of hot water. And then I'll show you how I strain it and get it ready for my bath. Okay. Okay, so I have my bath water. I paused it. I turned it off for a minute just so I can show you what I'm doing with this bath tea because I want to get it soaking and show you what I do with it. So this is the same tea mixture that I had in the bowl, the flowers, and I just put it in this glass measuring cup because I like to have a big bowl or big, vessel to have it soaking in. I have my electric kettle that I just heated up some water in. I love these. You literally just fill it up with water and you turn it on and it'll stay on as long as it takes to get the water really hot, and then it cuts off on its own. So this is almost boiling hot water that I'm pouring in here. Now, if I were making this to drink, I would not use as hot of water. And sometimes I don't even use really hot water when I make bath tea because I don't believe in boiling herbs like flowers that are really delicate in hot water because it starts to kill. To me, I feel like it kills some of the essence of the herbs. Now, some things you do have to boil. If you go by traditional herbalist advice, like roots and barks and seeds that are really dense, it takes a while to kind of get the constituents out of the herbs. But for flowers that are delicate, like roses and lavenders and petals, I don't really boil them. Sometimes if I do get the water too hot, I'll add some cold water to it to help kind of cool it off. I'm going to just pat these down a little bit. And yes, I know the water is boiling hot, but I'm kind of used to this because I do it so much. So what I'm going to do is, see how already the water is kind of turning a nice golden color from the calendula and a little darker with the lavender and the sage mixed in. I'm going to let this sit probably like a good 20 minutes and kind of marry a bit, and then I'm going to show you how I strain it and get it in my bath for my tea. So I have this little bath filter here that just kind of goes on the faucet because it helps to kind of get the chlorine and different things out of the water. I use that whenever I can because it makes the water just a little bit softer and you don't have that chlorine chemical kind of scent in your bath water. I just get it on Amazon. But I'll come back and show you how I strain the tea in a bit. Okay, so I am going to strain this the bath tea that I made. So it's been soaking for probably a little bit, about 30 minutes. The water's actually cooled down because I kind of went off and did something else. My bath water is still a little bit warm, so that's fine. But I want to show you how I strain it and put it into my water and what the color looks like once I put it in there. Now, when you, if you want to visit my shop that I just opened, where I can provide you with these lovely herbal blends for your own body care and natural healing journey. I will have my shop up in the link at the bottom of this video, and I'll have the information all provided there in the description so you can go visit my shop that I am. Okay, so anyway, so I'm going to strain this tea and get it into the bath so you can see what it looks like, and show you how I strain it. And I am going to put the link to my shop where you can order your own either personalized bath blend with up to 5 herbs of your choice, or I can create a signature blend for you based on whether you want a cleansing bath blend or a floral bath blend, or even a roots bath blend, which is going to be more grounding and more earthy. So I'll put all of that information in the description of this video so you can visit my shop and get started on your healing journey and incorporate some of this natural herbal lifestyle into your body care routine. So let me see if I can prop you up and get you situated. So I told you earlier that I use an old sock. A lot of us have old socks around that, you know, they're stretched out of shape, or we're never going to wear them or use them. I save my socks because they're perfect for straining herbs. In my bath, I don't strain herbs to drink. So I'm really going to just put the sock as much as I can over this vessel and hold it in place. And I'm just gonna pour all of the inside out into my sock. And hopefully all this herb goes in there. Try not to get too much in the tub here. And it's okay if it does. If you get a little bit in the tub like I did here, it's fine. It's going to, for my drain anyway, it's going to go down. I have a little bit of herb left. Sometimes I just dip it in the water and then I just pour it in the sock again to get it out. To get it all in there. And then I'm going to make sure that goes down in my sock. See? And then I'm just gonna tie a knot here at the top. Once it gets wet, it's gonna go down a little more. And then I have my nice little herb sock here. Look at the color of this water, y'all. It's so pretty. Like I said, this is just some of the lavender flowers that spilled out. Sometimes I like petals in the tub, so I might just dip that in there and just rinse that out. I only use this measuring cup for my herbal kind of blends and different things that I mix up. So I keep it in my closet and use it in the bathroom for mixing things around. But look, it's just so golden and pretty. And this is going to continue to soak. And sometimes I just give it a good squeeze and get more of that, you know, and grind it up in my hands, and it releases this heavenly fragrance. And like I said, when I lay here, how this is nice and long, I just put it on my eyes and let it soak on my eyes or anywhere else on my body that I might want it, just to get that nice herbal tea in certain areas of my body that may not be submerged underwater. So anyway, you can usually, after you pour this and strain it into the tub, you can squeeze it out. And sometimes I put it back in here and I'll just run some more water in here and let it soak again. And it will give you more tea. Where you can use it in a bath again the next night. Usually two times is good. You don't want to do much more than that, okay? But a lot of these herbs, they're not spent, meaning they're not used up. There's still goodness in them, even after we brew it one time. You can get another good bath tea brewing it a second time. So the herbal sachets that I'm selling on my in my shop online on Etsy, you'll be able to get bath blends in large sachets. It's going to be large, probably the same amount of herb that I put in here, I'm going to put them in sachets for you, like little cloth bags that you can put in your brew it. Like I brewed these, and you can put them in your bath, and you can have your own special bath teas to enjoy. Okay, so link's going to be up in the description. Make sure you head over there and you start on your journey. All right, so I'm going to get ready to get in this bath and wrap up my evening. And thank you for hanging with me and learning about some of this natural goodness that we have at our disposal that comes from the earth. I'll see you next time. Bye.